All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into a model that is totally changing the game for how businesses handle their tech. It's called co-managed IT. And look, this isn't about replacing your IT team. It's about giving them superpowers. So let's unpack this really powerful hybrid solution. So let me ask you this. If you run a business, does this question feel a little familiar? You know your IT team is brilliant, right? But they're just drowning. They're constantly juggling daily fires, all while trying to actually build for the future. It's this never-ending struggle. And you know what? It's holding your whole business back. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at those recurring IT headaches. Then we'll introduce the hybrid solution that fixes them. We'll check out some real-world examples, talk about the tricky subject of compliance, and then wrap up with a clear roadmap to get you started. Sound good? All right, first up. Look, before we can even talk about a solution, we have to get real about the problem, right? This first part is all about understanding those daily IT struggles and figuring out how to go from totally overwhelmed to totally in control. So do any of these sound familiar? You've got the same tech problem is popping up again and again. The budget? It's always tight. And technology is changing so fast, it feels like a full-time job just to keep up with it all. And maybe the worst part, your best people, your smartest IT minds are stuck resetting passwords instead of actually planning your company's digital future. This is just the reality for so many businesses out there. But what if you could just flip that script? You know, there's a great way to think about the goal here. It's about turning that recurring pain into repeatable wins. It's all about transforming those constant nagging problems into real strategic successes. So the big question is, how do we actually do that? Well, that brings us right to the hero of our story today, co-managed IT. And trust me, this is not just another corporate buzzword. It's a really fundamental shift in how you can think about and approach your entire technology strategy. So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, co-managed IT is a partnership. Simple as that. It takes your existing internal IT team, the people who really know your business inside and out, and it combines their knowledge with the super specialized skills and resources of an outside expert. The key word here isn't replacement, it's augmentation. You're adding to your team, not getting rid of it. And this right here, this is the most critical distinction we need to make. This is not traditional IT outsourcing, where you basically just hand over the keys and hope for the best, losing all control. No, with co-managed IT, your team stays in the driver's seat. You just get an expert navigator sitting next to them, with all the best maps and tools. It creates a true partnership, not just another vendor relationship. So what's in it for you? What does this partnership actually get your business? Well, for starters, you get access to a super deep bench of specialists and 24/7 support that you could probably never afford to hire full-time. Your costs, they become predictable. Your security gets a massive upgrade, and you can scale up or down whenever you need to. But maybe most importantly, your own team is finally freed up to focus on those big picture projects that actually move the needle and drive growth. Okay, let's talk real numbers on that cost efficiency point. Right now, a pretty typical co-managed plan is going to run you somewhere between, say, $100 and $250 per user per month. Now, what that does is it turns your IT spend into a predictable, manageable operational expense. And honestly, that's often way easier to handle than the massive cost of hiring even one more full-time specialist. Okay, theory is great and all, but proof is way better, right? So let's look at some real-world results and see how this model actually delivers for businesses just like yours. Take a mid-sized hospital, for example. After they brought in a co-managed partner, they saw a 40% drop in security incidents. A 40% drop in a single year. Now, in an industry where protecting patient data is absolutely everything, that's not just a number on a chart. That's real peace of mind and rock-solid HIPAA compliance. Or how about the financial world? A regional bank needed some really specialized cloud expertise. They made the switch and cut their system downtime by 30%. Just think about what that does for customer trust, for the integrity of every single transaction. That is a huge win. And it's not just for healthcare or finance. This model is a powerhouse in industrial settings too. A manufacturer was trying to integrate a bunch of new IoT devices on their factory floor. The result? A 25% boost in operational uptime. And on the factory floor, as we all know, uptime is money, plain and simple. This partnership paid for itself directly on the bottom line. Okay, now for a topic that I know keeps a lot of business owners up at night: compliance. A really great co-managed partner doesn't just fix your tech problems. They help you navigate the incredibly complex world of regulations. I mean, whether you're dealing with data privacy laws like GDPR or CCPA, or trying to meet tough security standards like NIST, or navigating those industry-specific rules like HIPAA or SOX, the whole landscape is basically a minefield. An expert partner is the guide that brings the specialized knowledge you need to get through it safely. But here's the crucial point. It's a shared responsibility. Success and, fully protecting your business, it all depends on having crystal clear documentation that spells out exactly who is responsible for what. That's how you prevent those dangerous gaps where a really costly compliance failure could slip through. So, we've covered the what, the why, and we've seen the proof. Now, let's bring it all home with the how. This final section is all about turning this powerful idea into a real, actionable plan for your business. Getting this set up really just follows a clear, logical path. First, you got to start with a self-assessment. Know what you're good at and where you need help. From there, you define some really clear objectives. Then comes the important part: choosing the right partner. After that, you build a rock-solid communication plan, and you make sure your security protocols are locked in from day one. So, feeling ready to actually do something? Good. You can literally start the moment this is over. Begin that internal evaluation. Start researching providers who really know your industry. Just start the conversations. You could even test the waters with a small pilot program to see how it feels and build confidence before you go all in. So, we'll leave you with this one last question to think about. For way too long, businesses have looked at their IT department as just another expense, another line item on the balance sheet. But what if you took a strategic approach like co-managed IT? You could transform it from a simple cost center into what might just be your single greatest investment for future growth.